Gaston County 911. Do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
Police and ambulance.
Okay, sir. Stay on the line for ambulance dispatch. Ambulance.
Yes, I'm on Route 95, a little bit below, headed southbound, a little bit below the Marsh Road exit, I believe. We have an overturned vehicle on the shoulder of the road and another car off the road.
Okay, how far south of Marsh are you?
I'm going to say half a mile or so. It's before the, it's approximately a mile before the Delaware Avenue exits.
Is you see a golf course to your right-hand side there?
Yes, it's on the right-hand side. It's on the shoulder of the road.
Is there
and a vehicle. I'm sorry?
Is there a golf course off to the right-hand side there?
I don't see a golf course.
Okay, phone number you are calling from? Okay, how many people are injured there?
There's a woman who appears to be shaken in a vehicle and another, at least one individual in the overturned pickup truck.
You still at the accident scene now?
Yes.
Anybody pinned or trapped in any of the vehicles?
I'm sorry?
Anybody pinned or trapped in any of the vehicles?
No. Were you the only one in the pickup truck? No. The occupant of the overturned vehicle is out.
Anybody get thrown from any of the vehicles?
No, he's operating under his own will, but has bloodied some facial lacerations.
Everybody completely awake?
Yes.
Any obvious injuries other than what you told me?
No.
Any serious bleeding there?
Yes, some bleeding from the facial lacerations. Believe a cut to the forehead.
How about the other vehicle?
I believe that she's just shaken.
Okay. We can send some help out there in the meantime. Don't splint any injuries. Don't move anybody unless they're in danger.
Okay.
Just have to turn on the four-way hazards for everyone's safety. Stand well clear of any approaching traffic.
Yes.
If anything changes before we get there, you can just go back immediately to the program truck.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, are you a witness?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I did not. I just saw the vehicle
in the ditch.
I don't know what happened.
And what is your name, sir? You said everyone's out of the vehicles?
Yes.
And what color was the sedan?
Light or dark? White. The vehicle in the ditch is a white Toyota Prius.
Okay. And you said the other vehicle's a truck?
The other vehicle is a blue F-150 Ford.
All right, sir. We've got that in for police. Are you still at the scene?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The vehicle's causing danger and it's safe to do so. They can move to a safer location out of flow of traffic. For everyone's safety, stand well clear of any...
Hang on just one sec.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
For everyone's safety, stand well clear of any approaching traffic. If it's safe to do so, turn on your flashing hazard lights. Stand safely away from any fuel, chemicals, or fumes. We'll have an officer dispatched as soon as possible. Call us back immediately if anything changes, you have any further information. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
What's your name?
Jim Battles,
Jim, how long you been at the county dispatch?
40 years,
40 years. So you've seen a lot of things,
just about everything.
just about everything. Now, can you give me a little description on what the EMS and the fire side do when a call's coming from the 911 call taker?
What happens is that people dial 911, who go into the emergency call operators. They will determine whether it's a fire or ambulance call. And once they determine it's fire or ambulance, they will transfer to us, and we'll do the triage using the priority medical dispatch and the priority fire dispatch. That will code the call, then we'll dispatch the appropriate agencies, fire, EMS, paramedics, state police helicopter, whoever else needs to go. If it has anything to do with like a multi-agency, as far as the police-wise, they'll stay on the call, then they'll get their information, and they'll enter it into the police terminal, and the police will be dispatched at the same time.
So when you get the call from the 911 call taker who answer police, fire, or ambulance, and they say they need their house is on fire and their subject's trapped, so obviously the call will come right over to you guys.
Yes.
Now, when you get the call, for instance, you get the call, you're taking the information. They've taken some, but you're going to take the majority of the information coming in, correct?
Yes.
Now, what happens after that? How many people on the line dealing with this one situation?
We usually be the call taker, then whoever's on the phone, once we code the call, it automatically goes to the dispatch terminal. We'll stay on the phone and get additional information while the call is being dispatched. Usually after we answered 2 or 3 questions, it codes it, and then it would send it over to the dispatch terminal, and then the dispatchers are automatically dispatching the call while we're still getting additional information and giving pre-arrival instructions to the medical or fire, whichever's needed.
So similar to the call you had about 10 minutes ago where there was a cardiac arrest, one of your co-workers was dispatching
Right.
the ambulance and the fire, and you were giving actual CPR instructions.
Right, I remained on the phone until either the ambulance or the police got there, while they were still I was giving them instructions, and the police and the paramedics and the ambulance were on the way up there.
So it eases the public's mind knowing that even though you're asking the questions or giving instruction,
Help is on the way.
help is on the way.
Help is on the way.
You get a lot of people saying, why did they ask so many
Yes.
questions?
They don't really understand the system, but
And this is something we want to do to try to get it out there so people know what it is. Jim, if you could tell something to somebody right now on how to do a 911 call that to ease their mind on what goes on, can you start from the beginning to the end, EMS side?
dial 911, it works.
Thank you.
Most of the questions are just yes and no. Answer the questions. It will speed the process along much faster. And it really does work.
Jim, thanks for the interview and many, many more years.
Thank you.
My name is Don Holden. I'm the Assistant Chief of the Emergency Communications Division. My responsibilities include the operations of the 911 Center.
Don, we were here yesterday doing some filming, and we got to meet some very, very nice people. Can you tell us what the difference is between a call taker, a dispatcher, and whatever else they do in their mix?
Okay, call takers are referred to as public safety operators. They process the initial call. If the caller requests fire or ambulance, they then transfer the call to the fire and EMS section. Fire EMS section will then triage the call, assuring the appropriate response and appropriate pre-arrival instructions.
I get a lot of questions thrown at me and everything about the 911 servers, that they want to know why they're asked so many questions and why aren't people coming right away. So can you sum up to me why the questions are asked and what's going on?
The call is received by the public safety operator. If it's a fire EMS response, they'll transfer it over to fire EMS. Fire EMS is going to then triage the call. They're going to ensure the appropriate response and also ensure the appropriate pre-arrival instructions are given.
So I guess to sum it up a little bit, it's not just one person who's listening to the call when it comes in.
No, not at all.
So the questions are to get more information, but meanwhile they're being dispatched.
Yes, the call,
We ha-
while the call's being processed, their other shift mates are handling the call at that time.
We had a call while we were in there yesterday where it was a cardiac arrest, and the gentleman was doing the dispatching for the EMS and the fire department to come, and the paramedics. And on the other console, you had an individual who was doing instructions on CPR to get in there with the magical number, what is 90 seconds without air or something like that. And that individual's name was Battles.
Yes,
And when we interviewed him yesterday, he was here for 40, he's been here for 40 years.
correct.
Can you tell us how important that is when somebody's dispatching and somebody's trying to give life-saving instructions? And tell us a little bit about Mr. Battles.
Yeah, obviously seconds count in an incident like that. So as somebody's giving pre-arrival instructions to the family as we are dispatching the appropriate response to them. Somebody like James Battles has been here for 40 years. He's a very well-liked and respected individual in the communications room. He brings a lot of knowledge to this place, and he's been very helpful with new hires as far as, helping them get through their hurdles, and he just brings a lot to the table.
Well, I can tell you this, when we were here yesterday filming, your staff was very nothing but positive to us. They felt us feel welcome. We really had a good time here seeing something so important. If I could put you on a spot right now, can you sum up how important that operation is in one word?
Dedication.
Thank you. Now, again, we want to thank you for allowing us to come into your home, your department.
So, an example here was that this person was reporting their child missing. Before we had Smart 911, the police officer would have to go to the area where the child was, reported missing, get a photo of the child, come back to headquarters, make a copy of the photo, and then distribute it out to the field units out in the field. Today, if you have a Smart 911 profile and you've loaded your children's pictures in there and you call and report your child missing, we have the photo available to us the minute you dial 911. We can send that photo to the police car by his through the internet on his laptop, and while he's driving to where the child was reported missing from, he can actually be looking for the child. And you have to keep your profile updated every 6 months, so it's not old data and they're not old photos. The program actually makes you come back in and refresh your information every 6 months.
Why?
Hi, I'm Jeff Miller, Chief of Newcastle County Emergency Communications Division. We want to tell you about a great new initiative here in Newcastle County, thanks to the support of our Recorder of Deeds, Mike Kazakowski, who helped fund this operation. It's called Smart 911, and in a time of great urgency, when you're dialing 911, you can choose how much information you want to make available about you and anyone that lives in your house based on the telephone number that's calling 911. So give us just a few minutes of your time to explain Smart 911. You can register your profile by going online to smart911.com today.